Since China has entered the era of high-speed rail, it is possible that the majority of people believe that trains would eventually become obsolete in the country. Throughout point of fact, there are still some uninhabited regions in China's vast landmass of 9.6 million square kilometers that prevent growth because of inadequately established modes of transportation. This issue may be found in the Tibet Autonomous Region located in southwest China. But at this time, China is making significant efforts to better the lives of the Tibetan people. In fact, China has committed $70 billion to the construction of the world's tallest and longest railway that will run through Tibet. There are a lot of engineers working in other countries who feel that the tremendous amount of money that is being put into this project in China is not going to be worth it, and that the difficulties of the construction is going to cause the project to collapse. The question now is how China plans to compete with the world's tallest railway. What kind of significance does this railway have for China? The overall landmass of Tibet in China is 1,228,400 square kilometers, which is equivalent to approximately 1/8 of the total landmass of China. The phrase top of the globe refers to this region of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, which may be found in the southwest. It is surrounded by the provinces of Sichuan to the east, Qinghai to the east, Qinghai to the northeast, and Yunnan to the southeast. Xinjiang is located to the north. India, Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan, and other nations are some of the countries that are located in close proximity to Kashmir. Tibet is an important gateway to the territory that is to the southwest of China and has a land border that extends for more than 4,000 kilometers. But the reality is that Tibet is a part of China that is extremely distant and underdeveloped. It is extremely challenging to construct trains and roadways in this region due to the undulating topography of the mountains and plateaus, as well as the extremely complicated geological condition. The slow pace of economic growth in Tibet may be traced straight back to the country's inadequate infrastructure in the area of transportation. At this time, China is working to improve the local economy so that it can better serve the Tibetan people. The Chinese government has made the decision to spend $70 billion on what will be one of the world's most expensive and challenging railway projects. The Sichuan-Tibet Railway is a railway that runs across China. The overall investment in the project is estimated to be around $70 billion US, and it is anticipated that the work would be finished within the next 12 years. Since the beginning of the People's Republic of China, the Sichuan-Tibet Railway has been the greatest single investment project ever undertaken. And it is also the largest single investment railway project in the whole history of the human race. The Three Gorges project, which will be the greatest hydroelectric plant in the world, will require an investment of $36 billion. The south to north water diversion is the most expensive and ambitious interbasin water transfer project in the history of humankind, with a total expenditure of $39 billion US. The overall investment that China made in the Sichuan-Tibet Railway in that year was second only to the amount that was spent on the construction of the International Space Station. On the other hand, several engineers from other countries say that it would be wasteful for China to invest a significant amount of money in the construction of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway. In addition, the construction of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway is more challenging than the construction of any other railway elsewhere in the globe. The completion of the project in 12 years is a pipe dream. China requires at least 50 years. Consequently, how challenging is it to construct the Sichuan-Tibet Railway? Is it going to be worth it for China to construct the Sichuan-Tibet Railway? In point of fact, the Sichuan-Tibet Railway is the railway that is now the most challenging to construct anywhere in the world. The highest point along the road may exceed 4,400 meters in altitude, and the difference in altitude between the 2 points is greater than 3,000 meters. The altitude of the region is exceptionally high. There are 11 portions of the railway that descend more than 1,000 meters in elevation between Yan and Nainchi. The risk of altitude sickness and hypoxia for construction workers is increased significantly while working at such a high altitude. Additionally, the majority of the railway must travel across no territory mans as well as frozen ground, which presents a significant challenge to the building process. In addition, the Yalin section of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway travels through a variety of landscapes, including basins, canyons, plateaus, and the Hengduan Mountains. Among these, there are hundreds of tunnels over 10 kilometers and 6 tunnels over 30 kilometers. In addition to this, Chinese engineers have dug 2 ultra-long, deep-buried tunnels that are up to 50 kilometers long in order to reach the permafrost at the confluence of the Qinghai Plateau and the Tibetan Plateau. It is common knowledge that around 90% of the route used by the railroad is comprised of bridges and tunnels. This railway is being constructed by China. The difficulties of construction is beyond comprehension, whether it be in the process of site selection, the safeguarding of the natural environment, or the building of bridges and tunnels. Is it thus worthwhile for China to construct what it calls the Sichuan-Tibet Railway? There are at least 3 values that are of the utmost significance to China with regard to the development of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway. China's poverty alleviation plan comes in at number 1 on the list of values, because China has been working to lift poorer and more backward regions out of their state of poverty. When the construction of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway is finally finished, it will not only cut the travel time between Tibet and the province of Sichuan, but it will also cut the travel time between Western China and the rest of the country, and it will even cut the travel time between Tibet and the rest of the world. Tibet's participation in international commerce will be made feasible as a result of northwest China's ability to utilize Nepal and India as significant export ports, which will also facilitate the region's accelerated economic growth. The second principle is ample access to relevant materials. Due to its location in the area where tectonic plates collide, the Tibetan region of China has a comparatively abundant supply of natural resources, particularly copper reserves. It was discovered via investigation carried out by China that the copper deposits in Tibet made up more than 60% of the entirety of the Chengguo copper resources. As a result, after construction of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway is finished, China will be in a position to promote the economic growth of Tibetan cities through the exploitation of various resources. The third core principle is ensuring the safety of China's external frontier. In recent years, a number of China's neighbors have frequently engaged in provocative behavior in border regions of China, and this is all due to the fact that the economy in less populated regions of China has not yet established, and neither is the military strength there. After China completes construction of the Sichuan-Tibet Railway, the country will have the ability to rapidly deploy troops to the Tibet Autonomous Region. This will allow China to achieve its goals of fostering ethnic unity, preserving national unity, and enhancing border stability. For this reason, the development of this railway is considered to be of critical significance for China. Many nations throughout the world have struggled for a significant amount of time to comprehend some of China's technical initiatives. For instance, when the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macao Bridge was opened for traffic, there weren't too many cars driving across it. Today, however, it sees tens of thousands of vehicles every day. The construction of a big number of high-speed trains in China has resulted in a loss of 900 billion yuan over the past 5 years. Simply said, other countries do not have any idea how valuable these programs are. However, China never makes a loss on purchases and sales, and they are aware of the significance of these initiatives for the country's ongoing and future growth. So what do you think the benefits of China constructing the Sichuan-Tibet Railway are going to be in the long run? Wait. Here's one more news that will shock you completely. New China's discovery that shocked everyone. China found 40,000 tons of ore. Don't waste your time, just click it!